Sorry, just pulling up the packet now. Okay, so we will go through and do roll call. We'll no longer call Christina, I imagine.
Nope,
Is that-
she did. She did submit her resignation.
Trina Feldman,
I'm here, and so's Kurt.
Jessica Gates, I see you, but we don't hear you. Not yet. Okay, here, thank you. Hand raised. Kurt, and it's Schweigert, right?
Yes, and he's here.
Okay, okay. Does that count if we don't hear Kurt?
He needs to at least raise his hand.
Yeah, I'm here.
Thank you. And Shannon Stott, she's absent. And Jennifer Strickland
Here.
and Aaron Smith. Thank you. Okay, so we have sort of the Ghost of Christmas Past agenda today of things that have happened for the past several months that we need to catch up on. The first is going through the agenda from the May 9th meeting. And everybody should have had the minutes included in the packet. Is there any discussion to have on the May 9th agenda or minutes? Sorry. If I don't hear any comments, then if somebody would like to motion to approve.
Hello. Oh,
There you are.
Yay.
so sorry. I was just working on getting my mic back. For some reason it cut out. I apologize.
I will motion to approve May 9th minutes.
Okay, can we get a second?
I second it.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving the May 9th minutes as they stand, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
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 Okay, let the record show that it was unanimous. Okay, now on to the June 6th meeting minutes. So this was the last meeting that we had with the transportation planning group.
Correct.
Was there any discussion that needed to be had about these minutes?
I don't know if this happened with anybody else, but I noticed there were 3 times that I spoke that it was attributed to somebody else, so I don't want to put words in anybody else's mouth.
We should
Okay.
correct that.
Sometimes on Zoom, it's a little hard to tell who was speaking. So if you want to just, you can make adjustments in those and send it to me and I will adjust them and we can present them at the next meeting.
Okay.
Sounds good.
I'm glad you can remember what you say, Jenny.
Sometimes.
Excuse me. So do we not vote on these or do we vote on them with?
I would,
attributions?
no, I would put the vote to the next meeting.
Okay, so we will postpone the vote on the June 6th meeting minutes until the next meeting.
We do have a citizen comment
Fantastic.
here in person.
This is an inaugural citizen comment, so it's very exciting.
Okay, hold on one second. So go ahead and state your name and your address and then.
My name is Tony Michelli. I live at 940 Northeast Alderwood.
You have, that made you even less focused. Okay, you have 3 minutes to speak.
Awesome. So as I said, my name is Tony Michelli. I am a school counselor at a K-8 school here in Northeast Oregon City. My wife is a pediatric nurse at Children's Hospital in Portland. We recently moved here to Estacada at the start of May, and we couldn't be more excited. It is our first home. It's where we want to raise our eventual children, and we plan on staying here for a long, long time. Some things that drew us to Estacada were the local disc golf scene, which we love, all the activities we can do on the river, local hiking, and we've also fallen in love with places like Granny's, the ice cream shop, which I rave about, that I tell everyone it's better than DQ, and that Hitch and Post Pizza is better than Pizza Hut and Domino's. So I love supporting the local small businesses, the Rock Shop as well, like the Rock Hound. But part of my motivation for being here today is because of public comments made by, I hope I'm saying this correct, Trina Feldman yesterday in the Facebook group, Estacada Locals. If you recall, Trina, you made a post talking about people moving here, not liking where we came from and wanting to change Estacada to where we came from. Upon finding out that you are on a committee that is about inclusion, I felt inspired to be here because I thought these comments were exclusive, that they assumed, generalized, and stigmatized people that are new to this community. You even referenced the new homes, one of which I live in, as cookie cutter houses that are obscene. Again, this is our first home. We couldn't be more excited. And as you've heard by the professions that me and my wife do, we like helping people. And we like looking for solutions on how to support the local community as we both take care of kids in some pretty tough situations. You made other comments to people about not Portlanding my Estacada. You told another person they should move back to Portland, which to an outsider sounds a lot like go back to where you came from. So I'm here today to tell you we are not planning on leaving anytime soon or going back to where we came from. And I hope that you can take my message to be more inclusive and to share opportunities for people like myself and my wife and how we can support the local community, because we would love to do that. I hope that you take the time to post things like that in the future rather than stereotyping, complaining, and being exclusive. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tony.
We also have one attendee online. If they would like to speak, they would just raise their hand and I can unmute them. Okay, you can speak now. Please state your name and your address.
Hi, my name is Trish Boss, and I live at 548 Southwest Dogwood Road. I'm now, I guess I've just reached my 4th year of residency here at Estacada. But I'm here for the same reason that Tony is. I read those comments yesterday, and I've also, I think I received a survey from either this group or the city of Estacada regarding what Don't Portland My Estacada means. And that's, I'm rather disturbed by the fact that people are going around saying things like that, because I feel that that's very exclusive and not an inclusive thing to say. You know, people who have lived here a very long time, other people who have moved here more recently, some very recently. And I think we're all just one community, and we should really strive to be that community. And, you know, we have some diverse viewpoints here too. So just, I think because some folks have lived here a very long time and maybe have a certain set of ideas and way things should be run or done, doesn't mean that those who come here with some different ideas shouldn't be valued just as much. So that's pretty much all I wanted to say.
Thank you, Trish. That's it for the citizen comment portion right now, correct?
Correct. I have no one else in the waiting room and no one here in person.
Okay, well, I think on behalf of the committee, I would like to thank you both for participating, since that's the first time that we've had somebody come and provide citizen comments. So we appreciate the feedback.
Aaron, can I speak for a second?
Sure.
So first off, I want to thank you two for coming in and speaking and, letting us know how you feel about, what's going on. I appreciate you guys being involved in the community. We get a lot of comments. We get a lot of stuff from the community, and every little bit of information that we get is very helpful for us, especially the city council. It's very appreciated, when we get, alternate opinions, and I welcome both of you to, if you're interested. I know Tony has only been in Estacada for a couple of months, so after you hit that 1 year mark, I'd love to see you volunteer for city commissions, run for city council, whatever. I just really appreciate that. And Trish, also, there are many city commission openings right now. So I would also invite you to apply if you're at all interested or have the time. Involvement in the community is amazing, and just starting today with your comments today, we're a great step. So thank you very much.
And there's an opening on this committee now because Christina
Yes.
resigned,
This one, Planning Commission.
and the planning commission.
And City Council. That's all I got.
Thanks, Jerry. Okay, so we are moving on to committee business. The first item to discuss is approving the updates on the charter, which was also included in the packet. Is there any discussion? Is there anything anybody wants to chat about in this? I think my only comment was how it just reads a little bit weird to have in the guidelines for interaction, the board members. I don't know if we can change that so it doesn't feel like it was just plopped in.
Yeah, we can change. So you want to change it where it reads board, you want it to change it to committee? Because
I think that would make more sense.
That language came directly from the
City council?
City of Estacada Boards and Commissions Code of Conduct.
So unless we want to attribute it to that and have that noted in there, I think it would make more sense to change it. Does anybody have any thoughts on that? I hope you do.
I'm fine with it changing to committee.
Same.
Okay, was there anything else that anybody noted? I don't think I had any other notes on it. But it did make me think, were we supposed to vote on chair and vice chair 2 months ago?
I think technically we were.
We can hold that election today if anybody. Okay, so anything else? It covers the different positions, the membership, the application process, the committee member expectations and commitment. Okay, so do we need to put a motion on the floor to approve it with the change of language from board to committee?
Correct.
Does somebody want to make the motion?
I motion to approve the charter with the changes from board to committee.
Okay, can I get a second?
I second it.
Thank you. All those in favor of approving the charter with the adjustment from board to committee, please say aye or raise your hand. Unless Kurt, are you just early or do you have a comment?
He's just early.
Okay. All right, so all those in favor, please say aye or raise your hand. Aye.
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 All right, that's, let it be noted that that was unanimous consent approval. Okay, Jessica, you can lower your hand now. All right.
Sorry.
It's okay. Next item of business was the event update. And Jenny, you are going to update us.
Yes, so we have two events coming up. The first one is the Art Rack event taking place July 31st. So as things stand currently, we're kind of just waiting to hear from them. It sounds like what we'll be doing is there's going to be a children's activity, like a coloring sheet. So it looks like we'll be handing those out to the kids along with some crayons and stuff. So yes, last that I heard from them was that they'll reach out to us closer to the event. So I think we're kind of waiting. So I think all we'll really need is a table and volunteers. So I don't know if the city has a table to provide for us, or if there's any like badges that say names and DEIC, if that's something that we would want. But I think otherwise that event will be pretty straightforward.
Yeah, we
Jenny-
can provide a table. That's not a problem.
Okay.
Thank you. Jenny, do you, can you remind me of the time frame on the 31st?
Yes, it's 1 to 5, Sunday, July 31st.
Okay, and do we know people already that are or are not available?
I believe I will be available.
You said July 31st?
Yes.
Sunday.
One,
I believe I'm available. You said 1 to 5?
Yes.
Okay, I should stop multitasking.
I should be available as well in 1 to 5.
Okay, so we at least have a couple people, and if more are able to join us, then fantastic. Or if everybody does, then we could even do shifts to split up the time.
I will not be able to attend. I have a golf tournament that day.
Okay, fine, Jerry.
If we're done with this event, there is the Arts Commission event as well. So that one will be taking place in October. And so what they said is that in the past, the event has had crafts, information and resource tables from groups, mariachi music. They're hoping to have a food cart and maybe a face painter as well. And maybe some sugar skulls for kids to decorate with icing. So that's their plan for the event. They wondered if we could possibly do some fundraising and then also attend the event with an information table and as volunteers for the event as well.
What would fundraising be like?
The suggestion was just reaching out to local businesses or community partners and seeing if we can get any donations. I don't know if they'd be looking for food or just some money to contribute towards the food cart or even a food cart to donate their time.
Fundraising is not my, like, not my area of desire.
So I think the city has a template fundraising letter. It wouldn't be too hard to, take that template and, make some changes and then just either spread it out to local businesses or probably hand deliver to local businesses. So it would just be, time, walking around town to local businesses and trying to get in touch with the people that make those decisions. So if somebody wanted to do it, they would have to, of course, educate themselves on what is happening and basically get with the Arts Commission and find out what exactly they're expecting as far as like, what kind of dollars they expect to generate, if they're just looking for $25 donations or $50 or $500. So it would just take a little bit of time if somebody wanted to head that up. It shouldn't be too much. Like I said, it's just going to be, time consuming.
Just seems, why would we be the group doing the fundraising?
So
I
the-
think it was just a suggestion that was thrown out there of ways that we could help since we don't have any funds to contribute. So I can ask for clarification on, like Jerry said, the amounts that they're estimating we'll need. So yeah, I can ask more questions.
Okay, and then possibly like the template could be updated to say the DEIC in partnership with the Arts Commission or vice versa,
Yes.
so that it shows more broad city support. Okay,
So just to clarify, the questions I'll be asking, I have, how much money are they looking to get? Any other questions?
I would also ask them for what supplies they need, because sometimes people are willing to donate in kind. And that might be easier to ask for rather than money.
Okay.
yeah, that's what I was thinking, is that businesses would probably prefer to donate something.
Goods. Okay, any other questions? Anybody?
Not yet, but just hopefully they'll button down dates and all that information so that we can make sure that we're carving out time on our calendars to be able to support the activity.
Okay, yeah, I can ask if they've made any progress with that as well.
Thank you, Jenny, for your events updates.
You're welcome.
So the next item of business was the equity lens discussion, thoughts from the joint council meeting. That was, again, it felt like a year ago.
April 25th. And I know that seems like so long ago. I included the minutes from that meeting in the packet.
You did. It brought me right back to that room. Thank you.
I'm sorry.
So does anybody want to discuss it? I don't think we were all there. So it looks like it was me, Jenny. Oh, no, oh, wait. Which one are we talking about? The one with city council. Sorry, I went too far in my notes packet. So Jerry was obviously there. I was there, Christina, Kurt, and Trina, and Jenny, and Shannon. So Jessica, you were the only one not there from this group. I don't know if you were able to participate or watch it at all.
I have not, no.
Okay. Thoughts for those of us that were there? It sort of, I guess it was like my, I don't know, it sort of felt like, oh, we're not going to get anything done today. So that was kind of the shocker for me, to get there and discuss and have the discussion really become much broader and outside of the scope that we had intended to discuss that day. So it didn't really focus on the equity lens as much as I was hoping it would. Trina?
Elena.
Weren't we gonna have another meeting with them? Didn't we have that set up with the city council?
We don't have the meeting set up, but they did invite us to come back at another time.
Your microphone, please.
Trying to figure out.
I think out of that meeting, that was one of the things we discussed, but then also the listening session that we held was a direct recommendation from this meeting.
Were there any questions posed from other council members? Because that was a request, was to, for them to ask the questions, I'm just not sure if
You still have the microphone on.
Trina, we're getting some feedback, so if you're not speaking, can you mute?
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know that one thing that Counselor Litke brought up was it's oftentimes impossible to include everybody. So he was asking how we guarantee that everybody will be included. So I think the answer to that is we're an advisory committee, so we do the best we can to kind of say this seems to be the most inclusive plan, but ultimately that's city council's job is to determine what recommendations they're going to take from us. And we try to be as inclusive as possible. And if anyone gets left out, we hope that we hear from them and can do better in the future. But our goal is definitely to try to include everyone, even if that may not at all times be possible.
Looks like he also asked how the DEIC is going to address the fact that we have limited resources, so we're not going to be able to solve every problem. I mean, it's not all problems need to be solved with money.
Very true.
Personally, I would love to get some clarification from Trina on your comments, which seemed a little, they just were very different than the discussions that you have when we're just in committee meetings. And so I would love a little bit of clarification about what you meant with your comments.
Okay, this probably isn't the right time for me to do this. Kurt just had his second hip replacement in 3 months. So and I've got vertigo really bad, so that's why I'm not down there. I can't talk on this phone thing. Look to see, my vision's not good enough to do the unmute and stuff. That's why I'm having so much issues. And so I can't really go into, I'd rather do it in person. But basically, I just feel like we're not accomplishing anything. That's what I meant by we're not doing anything. We're not, I don't know. I just feel like we need to be we're wasting our time. I want to be doing something. I don't know. It's right now, I've really got a bad headache because I've got vertigo really bad. But yeah.
So I'd just like to say that the formation of a new committee, and I know this committee's been together for just over a year, but the formation of a new committee, there's going to be some time in the beginning where that committee has to find itself, has to set the, do what you're doing by building the charter, the mission statement, going through all of these steps is very important moving forward. I know it doesn't seem like we're accomplishing anything for, actual to put in place in the city, but you guys are doing very good work. And, all of this stuff we have to go through all of this stuff. Otherwise, this committee moving forward is not going to be able to function. They're going to spend time chasing their tails, figuring out this stuff that you guys are doing right now. So, even though it might not seem like you're accomplishing anything, you are accomplishing something for the future of this committee and the future of Estacada.
Kurt?
Yes, I'm going to be using Trina's phone for this. So what's being meant by this "Don't Portland My Estacada" is don't take the failed policies from Portland and bring them out here. If you left an area because of crime and because of failed policies, what we're saying is don't try to bring those policies here. Yes, we are welcoming everybody, but it's like if you don't like paying taxes or pay some of your income to go for X in Portland, don't bring that same stuff out here. We welcome all kinds of diversity of ideas and diversity of people. It's just don't bring the failed policies that are going to bring homeless people camping on the streets, doing drugs, and making Estacada unlivable. We want to keep Estacada livable. So that's what's meant by it. It's not meant to single anybody out. It's like, if you're coming here, you came here for a reason.
Kurt,
And you left the place where you were at for a reason. So that's what we're saying.
Kurt, I was just, I appreciate your comments, but that's not what was discussed in the Equity Lens meeting with City Council. Are there any other, Jenny?
Well, I just wanted to say with what Trina said, I think it is hard within the 2 meeting a month government situation to really feel like you have a lot of momentum going on, because things are broken up and you come to it every 2 weeks. But I do think that we're making more progress than when I joined about a year ago. So, I mean, I feel like we do stuff and then it kind of goes away and we don't hear about it, like how we gave feedback on the housing needs analysis. So we did say our piece there and kind of work on that project. And now with the upcoming transportation project, we'll be doing the same. So our results aren't always visible or tangible immediately, but we are at least giving our input. And I do look forward, now that we have the charter out of the way and some of the other new committee stuff out of the way, I do look forward to getting into more stuff. Like, I know we have goals for the year of the events, so we can do community outreach. And I feel like that'll really help us feel like we're actually doing something, along with, I know we're working on the application process for committees and boards. So I think now that we have some of the new kid stuff behind us, we're getting into the work, even if it does seem like it is a bit of a slog at some point to actually have a finished product.
Okay, other things that were in here that we may need to address. Councilor Dunsmuir said she would like to see more of the what if questions asked in it. I'm not sure exactly what that would mean. And that we should be tasked with looking at past and present ordinances. I'm not sure the purpose. I mean, I understand the idea of looking at present ones, and maybe looking at past ones is to demonstrate the way things have changed over the years, to show that policies have gotten more inclusive, or I'm not totally sure.
I think the idea there was to see, looking at past ordinances, just to make sure that, the decisions made in the past are inclusive right now, they're relevant, that they're, that decisions in the past weren't made that are affecting Estacada currently, in a derogatory, I don't know if that's the right word, but, negative, I guess would be, just making sure, looking over some of those ordinances and making sure that they're not negatively affecting any current residents of Estacada.
So do we need to make a list of these different items and work on addressing them?
I mean, you guys can do it together. You can do it in your free time. Just, if you just take a look through and see if there's anything in there that just catches your eye that, just might be, might not fit within what we're trying to accomplish,
That's a huge task, looking at
is.
all the ordinances, and it might be easiest to break it up into sections and
Yes.
possibly start with sections that we're already looking at addressing, like the housing and like transportation, since those are currently ones we're looking at changing.
So I wonder if we should like set a goal. I mean, with our goal, we don't have the ordinances on our goals now, do we?
No,
Okay, but I wonder if like chunking them out and every year we plan to address either specific ones or a percentage or something like that.
we can bring that to the next committee meeting. We can discuss, you know, if there's certain areas that you feel moved to address and look at maybe, you know, chapter 6 or chapter 12 or whatever it is, and then add that to your goals. Okay.
Okay, anything else? Are there things though that they asked us to clarify that we need to pull out and address? Or does it seem like once we can meet with them again and really get into it, instead of just talking about much larger issues, that maybe some of those questions will answer themselves? So should we move on to the listening session? Thanks, Jenny, for the head nod.
Yes.
Okay, so we had the listening session as a part of the What's Up Estacada as the tail end of that activity, which I see the next one is scheduled for August, I believe.
August
Um,
15th.
Yeah. So I was there, Jenny, Jerry, city staff were there. It seemed it was, there were a bunch of people that were like there, but didn't have a lot to contribute. It was sort of a formal feedback opportunity, which may have scared some people away from talking because they had to get up at the podium and speak, which is scary. So now for those of you that weren't there and read the minutes, did you have any comments, takeaways, those that were there? What'd you think?
I appreciated the limited feedback that we got. I wish there had been more, but I'm glad that the subjects were brought up. I don't know how to get more engagement in the future. I know I know somebody that attended in person to the What's Up Estacada and the listening session, and they said that it maybe could have been a bit more clear, like maybe each group have their own individual table with a sign or something, because she said it was a little unclear, and then we kind of were brainstorming how we could include more people. And I don't know if this is at all feasible or anything that someone would be interested in, but I was wondering if for the summer, since the next one is in August, I know it'll be really hot, but if we could possibly move it outside, because I think people don't necessarily drive by City Hall and know there's an event going on. So if we have tables outside and people are like, oh, what's going on here? They can park and stop. That would also be good for any immunocompromised people that might not be ready to attend large events indoors as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, I don't think we actually got any comments on the equity lens. Right? I mean, that was like the original purpose of the listening session, but it was also just like, what barriers have you encountered?
Yeah, we also, it's still there. There's a forum on the website and we received no submissions on that.
Okay. Good effort.
I did see it on the website and I appreciated that. So thank you, city staff, for putting that on there.
And will that just stay?
It stays until we take it off.
Okay, well, it might be a good way to like, to have a standing forum for people to like just in time be able to provide feedback on things that they feel are inaccessible or have barriers that don't need to be there. I say we keep it. It's like
I see.
our virtual comment box.
Yes, I see no harm in keeping it.
There was good feedback though about, Ant Farm connecting with a lot of Latinos in the community. And Blanca shared that it's difficult to understand information from the city. So I think that's a really important tidbit to take back. And it just, when we're working on simplifying language and making sure applications are clear and easy to read, I think that we're heading in the right direction by doing some of that work. And I don't know how we can help Christy get her message about the ADA accessibilities at the schools. Is
We
that
did.
something that or did you share that with them?
We forwarded that on to the school district, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I don't know. Any other comments on that? I do recommend any of y'all do the next What's Up, because it was really nice just to be able to connect with other agencies in town, just to be able to talk about our work and how we could partner or whatever. I talked to the one woman from Ant Farm and talked about how like it would be great to engage youth on the work that we're doing somehow, if we could get a youth from the Ant Farm that's interested in this topic in this area and start inviting them to participate in our meetings in some way, which I know can be great for kids that have to do community service or different activities. So I'd love to see something like that happen, and it could bring in a whole nother level of engagement and give us a perspective that none of us represent on this committee right now. All right. So we didn't have any to-dos with this, Elena, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So then are we moving on to the correspondence section of the agenda?
Correct.
Right, so we have the correspondence from Stephanie Dorr. And I'm not getting these emails, Elena, so I don't know what
Okay.
the,
I'll check with IT and see why you're
Okay.
not getting them. Did
I
everybody
also
else?
did not get the email.
Okay. You can see it in your packet though?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, so who had an opportunity to read this? And it looks like she's asking us, well, it doesn't look like she's asking us to do anything other than to read and understand this information that she shared with us, correct?
Correct. That is what I got from that too.
Okay.
I didn't understand the connection between the originations of our committee goals and the Carnegie Mellon Institute or University is, as far as I'm aware, we have no affiliation with them. So I didn't entirely understand that question.
We do not have any affiliation with them.
So is there any discussion to be had on this other than that? Do we have any obligation just to read the information presented to us and discuss as needed? Okay, doesn't seem like there's any discussion to be had. Excuse me. So I noticed that there is no second citizen comment section on our agenda. That's typically what we do next, correct?
Correct.
Are there any other additional citizen comments?
If Trish would like to comment again, she can raise her hand. The attendee in the audience said they don't need to make another comment.
Okay. Then we are on to committee comments. Before that, though, do we have, oh, nope, thank you, Trish. The date of the next quarterly city council meeting where we're supposed to give our next update, I feel like it's coming up.
Yeah, it's coming up. I want to say it's on your next agenda. But I don't believe it's till the last meeting in
Okay.
July. It's the
So
second
then-
meeting.
That would make-
Next agenda, we'll discuss what we will
Yes.
say. Okay, perfect. Okay, just wanted to make sure I wasn't losing any of those threads.
Nope, I added it to all your agendas the meeting before.
Look at how efficient we're getting. If only I could catch up. Okay, so we'll move on to committee comments.
I had some questions. I know Elena, I already emailed you. I know it was shortly before the meeting, so I wasn't sure if you had a chance to look into any of the things that I had mentioned about the code online not being updated yet. And then the application not being updated to reflect the new
Yes.
code.
So Sadie is sick. But I did talk to Melanie, and so we did upload the applications that is specific to the DEIC. So if you go back to that page where it says we're looking for committee members, at the bottom in the supporting documents is now the DEIC application in both English and Spanish.
Okay, great.
And Sadie handles updating the code on the website, so that's going to have to wait until she gets back.
Okay. Well then, if that is all taken care of, then thank you so much to our commenters today and welcome to Estacada. We're very happy to have you here.
Jessica,
Yes.
do you have any comments?
No comments today. Thank you.
Trina? We'll leave it Trina and Kurt, since you're speaking from one phone.
Okay, I figured out how to unmute it again. I'm good. No comment. Kurt said he doesn't have any comment. Thank you.
Okay,
Okay, now I gotta figure out
Jerry?
how to-
Jerry?
Yeah, okay. I just want to thank you, Tony, and thank you, Trish, for coming out or for attending and contributing, and just know that your feedback was heard. I really appreciate you coming out and, speaking your piece, and every citizen in Estacada counts. Every citizen in Estacada has a voice, and we just want to make sure that everybody feels that they have that voice, and of course, feel welcomed in our community, because we wouldn't be a community without its citizens. So thank you guys all. Thank you, city staff. Amazing job as always. And thank you, committee members that showed up. It was great. Nice meeting. Thank you very much.
Right, I'll echo the sentiments that I know it's not easy to make comments in public, either in person or online. So I do appreciate that. Much more productive than doing it on social media probably. So thank you for coming here. Thank you, staff. This is a great packet. It's got stuff in it. And, I want to express that I'm bummed that Christina has left the committee, and so we all have to get the word out about our current opening, and the application is online, and I think we have till July 6th. Is that correct, to get applicants? Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, there was two. There's the planning commission and then this one on there, so it took me a second to read it.
Right. So please encourage people who you know are invested in this work to apply. I think we're generally a nice group to work with. And even though the work is slow and at times feels overly labored, that we are moving forward. And sometimes I think we have to be able to, rise up to the 20,000 foot level to look back and see the progress that we've actually made. So I hear the frustrations that it doesn't feel like we're doing a lot, because it does feel slogged down in process, but I know that we are making progress. And that's it. That's all I have to say. Probably everybody make sure you have a happy and safe 4th of July. I don't want anybody to come back with missing fingers. And that's all I have. Any comments from staff?
Nope, we're good.
All right. Well, with that, meeting will be adjourned at 1:53. Thanks,
Thank
y'all.
you.